If you're struggling in Diamond Rank in Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 4, this video is for you. No matter what rank you're struggling, it could be in Platinum or Diamond or even in like Champion or Elite. These tips can help you in your Fortnite ranked journey. I will have a step-to-step guide on how you guys can gain the most percentage in every ranked game you play. I will also give you guys extra tips on your fighting skills, what loadouts to carry, where to drop, and how you can win every game. No matter if you're more of a passive player or a player that likes W King everybody, this guide can help anybody. I'll start all the way from early game to all the way to end game. Now, let's get into the video. First thing we're going to talk about is how to play early game. Early game is one of the most important because it sets the tone of how the rest of the game can go. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find a drop spot. Actually, before you even find a drop spot, figure out, are you more of a passive player or aggressive player? If you're more of an aggressive player, land at one of the 3 medallion places. But if you're more of a passive player, land at a POI without a medallion, or even land at a non-POI with good loot. Make sure your place has really good loot. Don't just land outside with a place with no chest, no loot spawns. Get a good spot with plenty of chest and loot. The next thing you want to do is find that drop spot and master it. Have a consistent plan on how every game should go. For example, I land at Doomstat, and I always try to land in the middle of that building, in the middle of the POI. I get a few guns, I get in the tower, and I start shooting the boss because the boss spawns in the tower with me. So I just put a few mags in the boss's head, and I kill him, and I get a mythic shotgun like that right away. But that's not always going to happen because your plan's not going to go how you think it's going to go all the time because it's Fortnite, every game's different. For example, it might be a hot drop, there might be like 10, 20 people there, so you're not going to be able to land there because maybe somebody has a better drop than you. So you always have to be ready to adjust. Also, you want to make sure you memorize chest spawns and floor loot spawns. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but there's a website called Fortnite.gg, and if you go there, it shows you every chest spawn, floor loot spawns, every barrel spawn. It shows you everything. Memorize chest spawns and floor loot spawns on Fortnite.gg. It gains you a massive advantage against most players. Because most players, first off, they don't take time out just to memorize chests and floor loot spawns. But if you do that, trust me, you're going to know where everything is, and you're going to be able to react faster and get more kills off spawn. So use the website called Fortnite.gg to help look at chests and floor loot spawns. And also, another quick tip, if you want to have a good drop, make sure to skydive down in divots in low areas. But when you do that, at the last second, you want to look up, because if you do that, you might land a little too low. You want to make sure you practice this in custom games. So next thing we're going to talk about in early game is the fighting. So if you suck at fighting early game, don't land on a hot drop. That's just the first off. You do not want to do that because obviously you're going to struggle, you're not going to get many kills, and you're going to be scuffed. And also, just find your strengths and weaknesses and make sure you work on your weaknesses in creative. So for example, if you suck at editing or piece control, make sure you go and just spend 15-30 minutes every day practicing that so you can become better at that. Because the best players are always good at everything. They have good aim, good piece control, good edits. So if you work on your weaknesses, you balance your game out, you become overall a better player. Now, let's talk about mid-game. So mid-game will be different for everybody. Some players might be set with a couple kills, they'll have a lot of mats, like 500 wood, brick, and metal, good weapons and heals. Other players will have no builds, gray loot, and just no heals. So if you're the player with no builds and bad loot, you need to fight people. If you are set, don't fight, just position yourself very well for endgame. So if you're the person that has to fight mid-game, keep these things in mind. First thing you want to do is you want to watch out for third and fourth parties, because as soon as you get into a fight, people are going to hear it and people are just going to start coming to there. So you want to make sure you box fight, no builds fights. If they start building up, trying to get high ground, who cares? You try to knock them down, but you do not want to build fight with them because you're just going to cause more people to look. It just cause more people to come towards you guys. So make sure you box fight, no build fights. And also, when you're fighting, just make sure you have smart peeks, Don't make no dumb edits. Don't make a 4-tile edit, but make sure you do peanut butter edits or just small window edits. And also, you want to try to hit some high damage shots. Also, before you get into a fight, you want to try to be the first one to get the first shots off. For example, you try to sneak up against a player, try to get the first shots off, because if you do that, you put yourself in a massive advantage when you start the fight, because you're already going to do like 50 damage, 75 damage, even 100, just depends how much damage you did to it. And also, I have to point this out, you don't always have to fight the first person you see. Be patient, because some players, as soon as you hit them for like 50 or 100, they're going to have shockwaves, they're going to have movement just to run away. But don't chase too hard. And the reason why I say this is because you start chasing them, you just start shooting them, chase them across the map. More people are going to run into you, you're going to run into more players, you're going to get into more fights. You're already scuffed, so you're going to be low on HP, low on match. You're probably just going to die because you're just chasing the guy for way too long. But don't commit too hard, because a third party will eventually show up. If you're going to endgame with no loot, you have to fight somebody and get a refresh. All right, if you're on the other side and you guys already have good loot, already have a couple kills on the board, you're feeling good mats, good loot, you want to advance your game. For example, kill the bots from the watchtowers. Because when you do that, you kill the bots, you get the card, you swipe the card, then you see the future zones. Or you just make good rotations, you don't just dart down the middle of the zone, right down in the middle of the zone, but you make good rotations and you rotate dead side of zone. And also, when it comes to fighting, you only want to fight if you have to, okay? But you don't want to run. When someone starts shooting you, you don't want to run too much, because when you do that, first off, it makes you look scared and nervous. So you want to make sure you engage, do some damage, try to get a nice shotgun shot and just run away. So mid game is pretty simple, but you guys want to make sure you play it right, just depending on your situation. Now, let's talk about end game. How you want to play end game is pretty simple. Fight when you need to and make good rotations. First off, you never want to be behind zones, because when you do that, you're going to get focused by the whole lobby, and obviously you're going to get sprayed at and you're going to die. So always try to rotate early. Also, if you need a refresh, because obviously at one point you're going to be alone mats, make a quick kill, okay? You don't want the kill to take on too long, because the zone's going to be moving, all right? So you don't want to waste that time. You want to try to get a good kill, like kill someone that's, rotating from zone, that's rotating late from zone. Just get a quick kill, get some quick mats. Also, you want to be spamming. Most people, they don't like spammers, but you got to become that spammer, because you don't want to let the other players breathe. You want to make sure you're always consistently spamming them, because obviously they're going to be trying to pop in minis, big pots, just trying to pop heals. But obviously if you're spraying at them, they're going to be focused on you instead of, trying to heal. The last thing I want to say is Fortnite isn't everything. Don't stress too much and don't get too emotional over pixels. I know that sounds kind of weird, but most people, when they're playing ranked, they just get mad, they get angry, but you don't have to stress about it too much. Just go for a walk, talk to your family, hang out with friends, because first off, Fortnite is all about the experience and just getting better in your skill. That's the whole point of rank. And don't compare your skill to somebody else, because it's always you versus you. If you're improving, that's what matters. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a sub and turn notifications on. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.